Alright, alright, I would open up and I want to say Shabbat Shalom Israel. I want to say Shalom to the 12 tribes. Alright, well, first, to tell you, first and foremost, always, I want to say all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, all praises to his son. I mean, to tell you, I'll say all praises to the Father, say all praises to his son, the King of Kings, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. Alright, I gave two, two, two honors and two praises. Alright, so today we're going to be going into exposing Joe Biden, alright? And I want to thank the Most High for putting it in my spirit to make this video, because it's been a lot of controversy with him lately, and he's running for the presidential spot, and I know right now he's probably the forerunner, at least for the Democratic Party, and he's probably the forerunner for the Israelites that are still asleep, okay? He's the forerunner for everybody that is going to vote that is 2/3. Alright? So let's see what the controversy is about. We're going to expose him, cut him, and say why no Israelite should vote for him, and say to be honest, no Israelite should even be voting in the Babylonian election. But especially for an Edomite, especially for out of all Edomites, Joe Biden. Alright? Alright, so look, Sleepy Joe Biden has apologized for his involvement in 1994 crime law. Alright, so we're going to go into what is the 1994 crime law, and then what did Joe Biden do, what does that have to do with us, why am I making this video, all of that. Alright, all praises to the Most High. Alright, let's see. So, I've done part of this video, then I got interrupted. So I'm not probably going to read all of this, probably be a little quicker, and really just get into these precepts and expose them through these precepts. Okay? Alright, so the 1994 Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act. Salakia, I just said like a quick prayer. Signed by then President Bill Clinton, was seen by many analysts as a culmination of efforts of those like Biden. So let's see what he wanted. However, in the decades that followed, critics blamed the law for an increase in prison population, among other developments. Alright, look, this is what I really want to get on. A 2015 headline in the New York Times, published in the run-up to the 2016 presidential election, that was one between Trump and Clinton, claimed that Biden's role in the 90s crime law could haunt any presidential bid. So even the New York Times recognized this, and they posted it, and that probably made him disinterested in running, because nobody wants to lose. Okay, you do that, you invest in a lot of money and you lose. That's very bad. That hurts your reputation. That hurts everything about your brand, everything about your character. All right. In his tweet Monday, Trump claimed Judah will not be able to vote for Biden because of his support for the crime bill. All right, so let's see what this is. So that's a bold statement. The president of the United States saying one whole population of the country will not be able to vote for somebody because of one of their past actions. So we gotta know what this past action is. Alright. Let's see. That was a dark period in American history. Then it's all been a dark period, to be honest. Ever since the Edomites came over to ever since Edomites came over to these American lands, it's all been just it's a big dark blur, so to speak, for the Israelites and even other inhabitants of this land to a lesser extent, but especially to the Israelites. Alright, the Native Americans, what happened when the Europeans came over here with them? What happened when they came over in Central South America with the Incas, Mayans, and the Aztecs? Alright, that was dark. That was a dark period. Alright, nothing but chaos, nothing but foolishness, wickedness, greediness, lasciviousness, all this malice words, all this bad negative words. That's what happened during these periods. Okay, ever since Edomites touched this land. All right. So see, Hillary Clinton apologized for some of the laws. Okay, she said unintended consequences. We're gonna see what she means by that. Positive aspects. All right, she's gonna have to really break that down to me. All right, how any positive happened out of it. Okay. Oh, here she like its efforts to prevent violence against women. Okay, so imprison millions of women and men, but at least the violence against women went down. All right, take away parents from people's lives, but at least the violence against women went down. Take away the mother from these kids' lives. All right, take away the father, take away somebody's grandparents. All right, but at least the violence went down, huh? That's a positive. All right, all right. Salakia. Let's see. Trying to see what website we want to get first. We can go here first. This is more opinionated, and the next one is more factual. All right, more numbers. Okay, just to prove this point here. All right, Salakia. All right. So, a 1994 federal crime bill passed by Bill Clinton has become a problem for Hillary Clinton's campaign. Okay, and if you didn't know, Joe Biden was a part of that committee. Let's see. I don't want to be wrong. So let's just pull it up. Let's see what his official position was. Let's see. Slovakia. Bear with me. Pretty much I can help this pop up. I kind of want to see what this says. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so look. Be proud of your crime bill. The Democratic frontrunner helped make the country a lot safer. So New York Times, we're going to remember that. Alright, we're going to 100% remember that. Alright. And we're gonna see who the New York Times is for. We're gonna see who all of these people are for, who all of these liberal websites and what they stand for. Okay, so a lot of Jays are liberals. I'm not just attacking them. I'm not attacking. Sorry, I don't want to misspeak. I'm not attacking them just because they're them. Because the conservatives, they're more open, but the liberals feel the same way, but they hide it better. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. All right, all right. So he was chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Said at the time his aim was to pass legislation that would combat violent crime. Okay, so let's get right into it. So that was kind of like a briefer, all right, or a brief. All right, well, let's get into it. Okay, a $30 billion package was the largest crime control bill in the United States history. All right, with 30 billion, you can do a lot better. All right, sorry, I'm gonna keep reading. Critics say that the bill decimated communities of color and accelerated mass incarceration. Proponents say it contributed to the precipitous decline in violent crimes in the United States that began in the mid 1990s. All right, so it's a $30 billion crime control bill. Okay, that's just the basics of it. All right, so with 30 billion, they could have been feeding millions that are homeless. All right, they could have been setting up schools, setting up educations for people. All right, even though that would have been a much better deemed to look better on their records. All right, they could have been doing a lot of different stuff rather than do a crime control bill. Okay, they could be giving their own citizens water, their own citizens food, their own citizens a place to live, things like that. All right, but instead it's a crime control bill. So what let's see what in specific did this crime control bill do. All right, was a lengthy crime control bill that was put together over the course of 6 years. Its provisions implemented many things, including a three strikes mandatory life sentence for repeating offenders. Okay, let's just focus on that. Okay, so like include three strikes mandatory life sentence for for repeat offenders. Okay, so I'm gonna just give you a situation. Okay, say when you were 11, say like the times they were in there now. I mean, sorry, the times they were there then. Say if you were 11, all right, and you sold a candy bar, all right, and they charged you for that. Okay, then say at 16 you had to go to school, your mom was sick or something like that. Then they say they caught you with driving without a license. All right. Then third strike, it could be anything. You could have been carrying a gun that was unregistered, had a little bitty thing of marijuana or crack cocaine on you. You could have been pulled over at a stoplight, and you honestly could have been charged unjustly for any of these three. But guess what? After the three strikes, life sentence. All right, they're gonna have to see. All right, so America's motto is "Under God We Trust." Right? They'll have to break that down. Okay, where did God say? Where did God give the Israelites in the book in the Torah? All right, in the first 5 books, three strikes. All right, they'll have to break that down to me. All right, I read the Torah, didn't see it. All right, but under God we trust. All right. Okay, that's just hypocrisy. All right. Money to hire 100,000 new police officers, 9.7 billion in funding for prisons, and an expansion of death penalty eligible offenses. It also dedicated 6.1 billion to to prevention programs. Okay, and look, they're about to expose this, okay? Quote unquote bolder, designed with significant input from experienced police officers. Look, but what? However, the bulk of the funds were dedicated to measures that are seen as punitive rather than rehabilitative or preventive. So basically, all of this money, all of this 30 billion, was used to go try to lock more. To be honest, let's just say it how it is. To lock more Israelites. All right, to lock you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans up. Okay, why would you need 100,000 more police officers, but to lock more people up? All right, why would you need 9.7 million in funding for prisons to lock people up? Okay, and why would you need to expand the death penalty, but to just kill off the Israelites? All right, why? All right, it was and then look, why would you have more funding for prisons than for quote unquote rehabilitative programs? That's what jail is supposed to be. You're supposed to come out and you're not supposed to go back in. But they designed the system to where you have almost no other option but to come back in. All right. So yeah, so that's why this was passed, man. 9.7 billion. Like why? Like come on, and as you notice during this time, during this time you have more people from the northern tribe, so your so-called Latinos were coming into the United States. Your population was growing here. That's why this thing was passed. All right, Jake was they were climbing up the totem pole, so to speak. That's why this thing was passed. Because they want you in prison. Okay. At the time, violent crimes were seen as out of control in the United States starting in 1987. All right, let's see. Look, it's even gonna say who they're trying to lock up. Many of these victims were young Judites. Okay, so many other, and we know in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, it says that our eye will be evil towards our brother. So that's who it is. Okay, that's who they're trying to lock up. Okay, and that's who the victims were. All right. Robbery and assault rates had exploded beginning in the late 1960s in the crack cocaine epidemic. All right, who was the main ones affected by the crack cocaine epidemic? All right, there's no denying that that was Israel. Okay, there was no denying that was Judah, mainly the Southern Kingdom, and then also the Northern Kingdom was devastated was devastating the nation's urban cities, basically. All right, so that's who it was for. Okay, people that were on a crack. Here, I don't. Slovakia. Let's see. Slovakia for my misspelling. Let's see. Let's see. Trying to just find like a quick article, numbers really. Look, in the 1860s, instead of pouring resources and other forms of treatment, like they do with the opioids, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, except for guess who the opioids are targeting? Esau, their people. So guess what they do? They put treatment. When have you seen somebody that has overdosed on opioids go to jail? All right, never. All right, America chose to tamp down on crime. All right. Look, in the end, that approach had as much of adverse impact on who? So who was the main beneficiaries of this? Judah, man. Families as crack did, okay? Hundreds of thousands. Alright, let's see. I'm trying to find numbers, but I don't see any. But as you can say, they claim hundreds of thousands. Okay? Um, I don't know if I'll be able to see. But as you can see, even with that, it said that there's no surprise, okay? We all know that that was mainly affecting Judah. So that's who they were cracking down on. And look, this is just more proof, okay? Look, the bill had bipartisan support. When's the last time you've seen a bill that's passed that had bipartisan support other than like the environment? And that doesn't even most of the times have bipartisan support. And easily passed both the House and the Senate. When is the last time a bill has easily been bipartisan and passed through both the House and the Senate? All right, let's see. Let's see. Most of the times you have one party that's for it, one party that is against it, okay? But with this crime bill, which everybody knew it was going to be hurting Judah, all right? Everybody knew that, okay? So this one went easily and bipartisan. That's a shame. Let's see. Let's see, let's see, let's see. This week, it was the laziest Congress. That's it now. Just trying to figure out how many bills. Let's see, let's see. I don't think I'm able to find a number, but just so you know, not that many. Because think about how it is right now, about how much tension there is. Okay, with everything that gets put in the House, it'll get rejected. Put in the Senate, it get rejected. But here you got both passed by the House and the Senate, and bipartisan. Okay, and look, then you hear. See, this right here reminds me of when Hamashiach Yahushua was there with Pontius Pilate. Then after that, Pontius Pilate told them, then after that, Pontius Pilate asked them, well, then what has he done? And they tried to make up something. And then after that, Pontius Pilate said, all right then, well, it's not going to be on me, it's going to be on you. Look, this is exactly what they're doing. The Clintons have pointed out that both black politicians and community leaders backed the law and in general supported increased law enforcement in order to help quell street violence, destroying communities. Okay, so they're basically saying, well, it's not my fault. Your people agreed to it. Your people did it. And that's just the devil, man. Pontius Pilate was the devil. These people are devils. This man right here, this man may be Pontius Pilate. Alright? We don't know, but that man could be Pontius Pilate. Alright? So as you can see, like here, with their defense, they know who it was hurting. Okay, they knew that if they got the black politicians and community leaders, they had an excuse. Okay, all right, look, did it cause mass incarceration? No. All right. So look, they say no to that, but what they say earlier. Critics say the bill decimated community of color and accelerated mass incarceration. Alright, that's what the critics say. And they're honestly a critic. They just have to play face. This is by the BBC, okay, that is in Britain. Alright, they hate America. Alright, let's be honest. They don't like the United States. They know the United States is the most wicked country on the earth. Alright, they were against slavery before the United States were. Alright. They were against the South because the South was pro slavery. Alright. So Britain, they're exposed in America, but here they got a kind of safe face. All right, but they still get on them, right? Because people read this first thing they see is no, then they just move on. But look, they still are going to get on them. Look, historians point out that there had already been decades worth of punitive crime control laws that ramped up the rate of incarceration. So look, the Clintons weren't the only people that were doing this. All right. And here some people the people idolize. All right, Jake don't really some Jakes idolize Ronald Reagan. Well, who is this main person here? Lyndon B. Johnson. Okay, he came up with the so-called Civil Rights Act of 1964, I believe, and a lot of people vote Democrat because of him. And like he even said that if we give them civil rights, they'll be voting he said that these N-words will be voting Democrat for the next 100 years, and he was right about that. Alright? He was right. And like you fools just don't see it, man. He said that, and y'all still do it. Alright? So as you can see, Coon Jake, Bill Clinton, putting his own people in jail, putting his family members in jail. Okay, and that's how Esau feels, man. As happy as day of his life. Right there. It's locked here. Right there. Where my cursor is, happiest day of his life. And Jake, he knows this is effed up, man. Jake knows what it's for. Jake knows that he's gonna be imprisoning his own people, his brother, his sister, his mother. Alright. As you see, some more coons. And look. This man right here. Oh my gosh, man. This is the happiest day of his life too, because he's saying, alright, well we could put more of these little black men in jail, more of these black women in jail, and this is the happiest day of his life. Alright, and this man knew that he knew that he just effed us over. Alright? Look at that smirk. He just knows. Okay, as soon as shook hands, that was his face. Okay. This happiest day of his life. Alright, happiest day of his life. Alright. Let's see. Is there anything else we want to touch on? Alright, I think that's it. All praises to the Most High. X out of these. Alright, now we get to some numbers. Okay? Let's see. We don't want to hear about the. So look, they say they did it to go stop crime, but look, crime had already started declining before the bill passed. From 1991 to 1994, crime dropped 10% and violence decreased by 5%. And look, 1994, it also fell. Alright, so even before this, it was falling, and after it surely fell because they were locking our people up. Alright. So these people, they're not sneaky, okay? They've had it out against us since day one, all right? Ever since Esau entered out the womb, they had it against us. All right, Psalms chapter 83. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the nation of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. All right. What does the South call during the Civil War? The Confederacy. Why they are confederate against us? And who's the first one listed? The Tabernacle of Edom. That's the first one listed, and that's the one doing the most damage through prophecy, through political events, through scriptures, through everything. Okay. Even during Maccabees. Okay. All right, even during the time of Yahushua, all right, they've always been doing the worst to us. And here, what are they mainly focusing on? All right, Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. For they are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith, Restore. Alright, so look, our people are robbed and spoiled, alright, here, what is their main objective? To put us in those prison houses. Alright, that's why all of these things were passed to put us in these prison houses. Okay? Let's see. Look, the rate of imprisonment exploded to 400%. It exploded by 400%. Okay? Around one, so it almost doubled. Okay? Look, from 1994 to 2009, imprisonment continued to rise, doubling. Okay, so after the crime bill was in 1994, the imprisonment doubled. The imprisonment of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans under Joe Biden's rule, under Joe Biden's authority, under Joe Biden's principles, and what he wanted to happen, it doubled. Okay? The crime bill contributed to this increase in incarceration. Alright. Let's see. Look, and they require inmates to serve at least 85% of their sentences. Alright. And look, most of the states didn't really want it. Alright. At first, but then they realized who was hurt, and then look, 42 states had such laws. Okay. Let's see. Look, they gave these states money to go put on tough on crime courses, tough on crime laws, enforce harsher police judgment, everything. Alright, that's what the federal government did under Joe Biden, alright, Bill Clinton, and Hillary Clinton. Alright. And look, it didn't even bring down crime. Look, research shows the dramatic increase in incarceration in the 1990s and 2000s played a limited role in bringing down crime. It didn't even do that much. Alright, but it started locking us up. Okay? Locking us up. Alright? Let's see. So it was basically causing overpopulation. Alright? So yeah, that's basically it on it. All right, so during that, the crime population doubled. All right, so they did their job. They were happy about that. All right, and Jake still wants to vote for that. All right, Jake, whose parents were directly affected, were put in jail for life, still going to vote for Joe Biden. Okay, who was chief over that bill. All right, so like yeah, Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay? Y'all trust Joe Biden after all this stuff that he did to us? He doubled the prison population for crack, and we know who that was targeting. Okay? And y'all want to make him y'all's president? Y'all want to make him y'all's king? Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy power shall choose. Did God choose Joe Biden to be the president? No, he didn't, man. Look, one from among thy brethren. Is he our brethren? No, he's an Edomite. That's our enemy. Shall thou set king over thee? Thou mayest not set a stranger. That's a commandment. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Okay, so you're not supposed to be setting strangers over you according to the scriptures, which is not thy brother. All right. So I can make sure I touch on everything. All right. So after all they did to us, okay, after all this, okay, putting our people, all right, in jail, all right, just doing all this wickedness, all right, it has to be returned to them. Obadiah verse 15. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. So as they did to us, put us in prison houses, all right, incarcerated us in mass effect and mass numbers, all right, treated us harshly, okay, thy reward shall return upon thine own head. All right, so y'all gonna get what y'all get. What goes around comes around, so to speak. Okay. So no, that done. All right. So with that, I want to end off. I want to say, Allah now we have a bashim yawshan. Allah now kaya hasan kata kabat. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All right. Jake, never trust your enemy. All right. We just exposed Joe Biden, okay, and what he did. So what makes you think he wants to do better? Okay. What makes you think he's going to do differently, other than hurt you, rape you? Alright, steal you, okay, kill you. Alright, you have to explain to me, when did he have a change of heart? Alright, we know they're the most profane people in the world, so don't set him as king over you. Don't set any of these other Edomites over you. Alright, Bashima Mashiach Yahshua.